my goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. So over on Dixie for the daily, we did attempt to push back into our channel, but now we have a green candle. This could be positive for Dixie and bad for crypto. Remember, usually crypto is inverse, and if Dixie continues going up, then crypto is likely going to go down. Our stochastic is falling off though. VWAP is breaking for a lower low. Momentum is causing that money flow to drop away. And we do have a lower high on that VWAP. So we have lower highs and lower lows, bringing our money flow and momentum lower. That is positive for crypto because if that continues, we could still see a push down. But over on the 1 hour, we have higher highs, we have consistent lows, so we really don't have a bullish pattern yet. The highs and lows don't connect. Maybe we have a little bit of a bullish continuation if you want to count it, but usually I look for a higher low if I'm going to call it bullish continuation. The MPP does say we could make a pullback to that 108, and if we make a bounce and continue there, that's likely where we would continue higher and see crypto push down. But crypto does look a little on the other side. Our VWAP does want to break down, so watch that VWAP close. If it breaks this neutral, momentum will push down, money flow will remain red, and hard time frames would weaken. That would be positive for crypto, remember. Over on dominance, we are pushing forward. We are trying to break that value area high. So we do have a higher low. I would watch this could help push us up, and Bitcoin could outperform our altcoins, and that may not give us that altcoin season. Our stochastic does want to push up. VWAP is pushing up. Momentum is gaining strength, and money flow is indecisive, but is in bullish territory. Over on the 1 hour, our MPP does say we could hit that point control area, that blue line, but we could make a rejection. So if we reject in this area and then make consistent lows, we may see some bearish momentum. Again, that would be positive for our altcoins to give us an alt season. So Stochastic does want to push down. RSI is pretty flat. That VWAP is indecisive at best. Watch that VWAP close. It is in the bullish territory, but if it continues to weaken and we see a lower low here, momentum could push down and money flow could push down. But we have been in the green for several hours, so this is positive, providing that VWAP stays bullish. If that VWAP ends up breaking down again, we would weaken those higher time frames. But if it does stay bullish throughout the night, then this daily could get a nice push forward and we could run up. Again, that would be a little negative for our altcoins. They can still push up, but they're not going to outperform Bitcoin, and we need that dominance to slip if altcoins are going to push against Bitcoin for that season. Stochastic does want to round away. RSI is starting to push down. Our momentum does have a red dot, so I would exercise caution. That does show it does want to break down. VWAP is starting to push down. We have a higher high. So if we can make a very short low and push forward, that would be positive for altcoins and we could continue higher. But we are pulling back. We did warn to watch around this 936 level. We got most of that move down and we are meeting the consolidation range. If we can make a bounce off here and push forward for a higher high, we could carve out a bullish continuation as long as the highs and lows do not end up connecting. So watch that VWAP. That VWAP needs to reverse on lower time frames as well for that to happen. But our MPP on the 1 hour does project we may break away from this range. So there is about 50% chance, so it could go up or not. So you would want to watch this 1-on-1 area and see if we get a rejection. If we get a rejection in that area, we're likely going to push down to our 936, make a retest, and potentially continue lower. But if we continue through that 102 range and see a higher high, then we could continue higher toward the 121, providing we get bullish patterns. Our VWAP does want to push up. VWAP is pushing forward. Momentum does have a double green dot, so that does suggest VWAP does want to run up, pushing momentum higher, and that money flow is in the red, but it's about to flip green. So if that VWAP can get higher highs and higher lows from this point and stay above that neutral, then momentum will push money flow into the green, and we will see that bullish probability. But if that VWAP gets lower high, I would exercise caution and watch for that breakaway that we said could happen. So over on Bitcoin futures, we do have a technical lower high and we are starting to push down. I would exercise caution because if paired with a lower low, then we could see that push down toward our gapped area. RSI is starting to curl away, stochastic wants round. VWAP is starting to push down. Money flow is bullish, but if that VWAP continues to push down, we could see momentum reject and money flow could lose some steam here. That would be dependent on lower time frames, holding bearish though. Over on the 1 hour, we tried to get that bullish run. We did say we could see around that 100K. We got a little bit above that 100K, and then we saw a pretty brutal rejection. The MPP did say there was a high chance of making a higher low, and we spilled past that. So even though you have a high chance of something happening, still you want to exercise caution because the other probability may happen. RSI is starting to slip. You can see that VWAP was heavy in the bearish territory, so that caused that big push down. We did see a pretty quick push up, but we got a quicker push down. So that is positive because remember, if you shoot straight up or straight down, usually you do see a counter move. So this could have us set up to see a rebound. The MPP does say there's a high chance of hitting 100K and rejecting, but I would watch for a break of that 100K. If we break that 100K over the next couple days and we hold, then we can push forward. If we cannot break that 100K over the next few days, I would exercise caution and watch those lower areas. RSI is starting to push down. If VWAP does want to break bullish, we technically have a higher high compared to here, so that could be positive, providing we stay above that neutral, pushing momentum higher with its double green dot and giving money flow strength. But if that VWAP rolls away, then I would watch for consistent waves like back here, as those would bring us lower. And as futures does lead Bitcoin, it's probably very similar on Bitcoin here. We do have that possibility of our 93K, and if we don't see bullish sentiment, we could end up breaking down, potentially making a lower low and filling our buy orders. Stochastic does want to roll away. RSI is starting to push down. VWAP is starting to lose strength. Momentum wants around, and money flow is starting to lose strength as well. So watch that VWAP close. If it breaks bearish, we could start a reversal here. Over on the 1 hour, we do have lower highs and lower lows, so watch if we get another lower high. The MPP does say there's a high chance of that happening, and if we reject that and break our 93K, that's where we would see those lower probabilities. VWAP is trying to break bullish, but it's not very strong, so I would just watch things very closely. Momentum does want to push forward, and money flow is trying to break green. So if that VWAP can hold bullish, then money flow could flip green, and higher time frames can gain strength. But if that VWAP rejects away, it was a bit stronger before we started the video, then we could end up pushing down. So keep a very close eye over the next few hours where we land on that VWAP. We do have a little bit indecisiveness going on. So remember, consolidation after a push down could create a bear flag. So keep that in mind as well. That would be counter to the MPP. Again, that's why you don't take just one indicator for what's saying. Over on graph for the daily, we do have the potential to round away here, so I would exercise caution. It does say we want to get a higher low in this range, so we would need to push off and continue higher, much like total. Stochastic does want to push away. RSI is starting to lose strength. That VWAP is rounding away. Momentum is starting to lose strength, so watch that VWAP close. If it breaks that neutral area, momentum will roll away, and money flow will go from green into the red, and we would see further red candles. So over on the 1 hour, RSI is overall losing strength. Stochastic is dropping away. We are pretty beat down on that stochastic. Really can't go much further. It does look like it does want to bounce though. That would be providing that VWAP can stay in this bullish territory. We do have a high. It's not a very strong high, so we need to push forward and get better waves, more like this wave back here. These weak waves don't really set us up for too much, so we may see altcoins kind of peter up as Bitcoin runs up. Remember that dominance does look like it does want to bounce, so we do have that going. That's why we cover all these things, because if you put all the pieces together, you can kind of get a better idea. Momentum does want to push forward. We have a double green dot. With that VWAP pushing up, if it sustains, then momentum can lead money flow higher. But if that VWAP rejects, that money flow is in the red. So I would exercise caution and watch those higher time frames, because with it being in the red, we have the 1 hour in the red, the 2 hours about to be in the red, and the 4 hour is about to be in the red. So we could see even stronger red candles, more like these red candles back here. So exercise caution. Make sure you have any stop losses. Remember, you want to make sure you're trading stop losses. And if you're getting stopped out by your stop losses, maybe you need to reevaluate where and why you're setting them. That's why it's important to kind of write down what you're thinking when you're trading. That way you can kind of reevaluate your thought process and see what might need to change. Now, stochastic does want to push down. RSI is pushing down. VWAP is losing strength. Momentum is rolling over, and money flow does want to lose strength as well. So I would exercise caution. Over on the 1 hour, our MPP does say there is a chance we could run up, but there's a higher chance we would get a lower high. So again, exercise caution. That VWAP is bullish, but doesn't have very much strength. We need it to gain significant strength if that momentum is going to push forward and money flow is going to sustain in the green. Right now, it does have a little bit of bullish strength, but it's kind of bullish like how these waves were bullish, where it was kind of short lived and then we kind of fell off afterwards. So just exercise caution with these weak VWAP waves. Over on XRP for the daily, it does look like we could end up breaking away. So we did have that MPP probability of pushing us where our pattern could say. So around that 160 area. Our stochastic does want to push away. We did pretty much solidify that resistance area. So this triangle is now in play here. Our momentum is starting to round away. We have a red dot. VWAP does want to break down and money flow is losing strength. So overall, I would exercise caution. We are kind of hanging up in that support area we said to watch for. So if we cannot make higher highs and higher lows from this range and break that top side, then I would watch this bottom side of our pattern. And if we don't make a bounce and push forward and break that resistance afterwards, then we could end up seeing that rejection. Again, trade for confirmation. Remember, you want to see a breakaway from your pattern, a retest of that pattern, and then a rejection for confirmation. RSI does want to push up. VWAP is trying to gain strength, pushing that momentum forward with a double green dot, but just watch that VWAP. It's not very strong right now, and the way the rest of the market looks, it may not gain too much more strength. So again, just watch for a very short wave. That could be a short-lived pump up. So over on Algo for the daily, it does look like we have very similar price action. Again, if you have any special requests, drop them in chat now so we can cover them. Otherwise, we will be done after Algo. Hit the like and subscribe and join us in the Discord if you haven't. Thanks for watching. Our stochastic does want to roll away. RSI is pushing down. Momentum is rolling with a red dot, so watch that VWAP. If that VWAP breaks that neutral, we will see momentum push down. Money flow will continue to weaken, and we could break those support levels and probably push down to our buy order at worst. Our MPP does say we could retest around that 25-cent range, just like we've been saying to watch out for. So over on the 1 hour, this is a positive bounce here. So we do have a little bit bullish momentum here. We need to continue with higher highs and higher lows. So if we hit that 39.75, we don't want to break the 37.95. We do want to continue above that and continue higher. RSI is pushing forward, stochastic is gaining strength. That VWAP is in bullish territory. Again, it does look a little weak, so just watch it over the next couple hours to see if it gets a stronger push. Again, it did have a stronger push when we started the video, but now it's kind of losing that steam. Momentum does want to push forward with a double green dot, and money flow does want to push forward. But if that VWAP ends up rejecting here, we could still see bears gain control, as we still have a potential for making a lower high compared to here and following it with consistent lows like back here. Thank you for watching again. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and join us in the Discord. Have a great night.